Hi everybody, how's it going? Today I'm doing a video on psychotronic weapons, and most people don't understand what psychotronic weapons are. It's a weapon that can actually focus into your brain and make you think you're hearing voices in your head, like schizophrenia, but you're really not hearing voices, you're hearing a telepathic communication from the government. These weapons were made back in 100 years ago. They started making them with scientists and things. They're looking into it, but they were developed with the parapsychology of Notre Dame University and as well as UBC in Vancouver, BC, Canada. They had the R.C.M.P system and a few others, a KEIEDG machine, which was like a bicycle helmet, a motorcycle helmet going over your head, which they could beam voices into your head while you wore that. And they practice on people for mental health. They would drill holes into their head to get to the nerves in their brain and things to make it happen. Well, these things are now fully in use in the Canadian justice system and other prisons around the world by governments who use them and have them above the cells. In every cell that you go into, there's a psychotronic weapon over the roof of each cell. They use some inmates who are members who volunteer to do it for profit. They pay them with drugs and candy and canteen and that sort of thing in monies, like checks and things from the government to do strikes, they call it, and they'll pick on one inmate who the government hates, like a dissident or someone they don't like at all, and they'll take turns raping his brain with the machine, and they'll do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, until the person is completely insane. And then they'll throw them to mental health to cover it up. And they'll use the mental health system to cover the entire activity up, saying they're schizophrenic and hear voices in their head when they really don't. It's actually telepathic communication. This is probably classified information that I'm telling you right now, because they wouldn't want this to get out about the psychotronic abuse that goes on in the Canadian justice system. But I was in prison and I've seen it firsthand myself as an inmate. Even though I'm a member of the Canadian Legion, I'm just a grandson. I'm not a red pin member. I just robbed a bank for my sister when I was a teenager, and I went to jail, and I witnessed this type of activity that goes on, and I was unfortunately a victim of it. But this is what they do when they don't like you. They kick you out of their little group, and they rape your brain and for information, and they pump you for all the information they can get and throw you away. And they'll pretend to be demons and all sorts of things and drive you nuts. So anyway, that's really what goes on. It's a really sick thing that they do, but they seem to enjoy themselves when they do it. But most of this information is probably deemed classified. Like I said, I'd probably get in trouble if they watch this video, but you should be aware of this activity. If you ever go into a holding cell or anywhere like that, they can employ anyone at any time to become a member of their group that does it, and they can do it to you or your family or anyone you know or care about, any of your friends, if they deem you a threat to their government. And no matter what government in the world you're in, the governments have access to these classified psychotronic weapons, and they'll definitely do it to you. So you should definitely be aware of this and be extremely, extremely cautious around the police and military that would employ such a weapon on you. They will use it on the general public as well. They can beam it through, I've heard information that they can beam it through cell towers and off of helicopters and all sorts of things like that, where they can zero in on somebody from a distance and use it on them. So anyway, you have a good day, and I'm glad to share this information with you. Bye.